Well, hello there. Welcome back to my channel, and it's another tour of another sketchbook. This sketchbook has been with me for a couple of years, and it was a bittersweet moment to actually come to the final page. I literally finished it last night, hence the green fingernails from all the paint and the mess on my desk. So let's just move this all out of the way and get going. For the most part, this is a gouache sketchbook, and I began on the 8th of August, and this is where I was living in the Philippines. I was there with my husband, my now late husband, and we had a very lovely few months living there. This is kind of like a title that came to mind. But yeah, this is where I was living, and my bedroom was up in there. And it's a beautiful house. We were very lucky to be able to stay there. Okay, so that was the 8th of August. Then on the 10th of August, in my bedroom, I was working on a very small little side table. But anyway, this is colour pencil, and it really comes off. This is Chromaflow pencils, and I was meant to be just doing a little sketch, and it turned into this kind of bonkers octopus. This is a couple of days later on the 12th, and I just wanted to try out a one colour. But that Prussian blue, my gosh, is beautiful. And I really like this. This is just a jelly roll, but it's so cool. But yeah, there we go. That's that one. We come then to September. It's coming on a bit later. I've been working in a number of sketchbooks. This gouache one was lots of people. I don't really know why I did it, but I really like all the colours, all the diversity that's shown in there. There's no men, it's all women, but never mind. 29th of September. I was just doing some watercolours, or some little ones. I think I must have been getting a bit kind of homesick for some cold weather, because it's a robin, obviously, and I was obviously looking for some colder weather. I got some snow coming through. Excuse my voice, please. I've been quite sick recently. In September, I signed up for Skillshare. They had a really good deal on, so it was well worth it. And I found this doodling kind of exercise, and I love this so much. These just really captured my attention. It's just a micron pen, and I was following this little Skillshare class and thoroughly enjoyed that. This one, I tried to do it on my own, and I don't like this one as much. It's a little bit too hefty, but it certainly, got me through about 4 hours. That's the only reason that it's in there. So it's not gouache, I know, but we'll come back to gouache in a second. And again, this is still using Skillshare as a means of learning. And I've used some of my older watercolours, just kind of splashed them on a wet page. This paper holds up so well because it's 100% cotton as well. It's really nice. And then adding these kind of doodles over the top. On the other side, I wanted to use my Neocolor 2. I just wanted to scribble and I think it was a frustrating day. That's why that's there. Then still with the Neocolor 2, I think it's the same day, 1st of October, 2nd of October. And I wanted to see if I could do something realistic. Those colours, they just blend out so nicely on the Neocolors. And it feels quite nice, but it does still transfer a little bit. Now there's a massive jump here to January 2024, and that's because my husband was sick and in hospital, and then he died. And then January 2024 is where I pick it up again, and I use my sketchbook from here on, really, as I've always done with my art, to decompress a little bit. So I started following daily art prompts. So this is the first one, and the prompt was favourite. And over Christmas, this is my nephew, and he got this blue plush dinosaur thing. This is acrylic gouache, and I absolutely love the texture that I got through here. And I remember thinking at the time, I don't really know how to actually achieve this almost metallic, blue metallic looking texture. And I still don't remember how I did it, to be honest, but it came out great. I think it was just, I didn't fuss over it too much. I just put a flat wash down and then added some dry highlights to it, and it's just lovely. What I don't like is the skin so much. The skin is a bit too blotchy, but on the whole, it's a great one, and it's a superb likeness, and his hair really is like that. He's got fabulous hair. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to work through these ones and ignore this side. So I'm going to put another sketchbook on that side so we don't get caught up talking about that, because these are in order on this side of the page, and then I come back and I fill these sides of the page as well. So this is the 3rd of January, The very next day, acrylic gouache. This is from a photograph I took in the Marriott Mactan. We went on holiday over Christmas, and this was a cocktail, which for the life of me, a margarita. Yeah, because I can see the salt on the rim. It was a quick couple of hours with the acrylic gouache again. Okay, so ignore that one. And then this is the next day, 4th of January. And the theme is nature. I happened to have this photograph from a holiday that my husband and I took in Dartmoor in the UK. And again, acrylic gouache. Now there's some lovely, lovely passages through here. I'm thrilled to bits with this little bit here. There's really a real brevity of mark making just through these little kind of reeds and bits of greenery here. Love it. But the texture through this stone is something else. I really kind of like this one a lot. I really do. The greens are nice too. I struggle with greens. I always make them look a bit too vivid. What I don't like is the angularity of these branches. I don't think I did myself any justice there. But yeah, overall, properly happy with that. Let's cover that one. On the 5th, the prompt was bright, and I think sunflowers or big daisies like this are beautiful. I was trying for one of those negative space paintings where you layer, but I didn't really know how to do it. So it came out looking like this. It's fine, but you can see the difference in the greens. If we just kind of flip back to this one, I got some really nice kind of natural tone greens there. And then on this one, they're all like properly out of the tube vivid. And I think because I was quite focused on the word bright there, but I was getting ready to come back to the UK. On the 6th of January, the prompt was season, and I have this hawthorn bush that blooms beautifully, and I had this photograph. I really like this. What I was trying to do with the back was to get that out of focus look, but again, didn't quite know how to do that. When you use phones, if you go to portrait mode, it will blur the background, but if you actually zoom in and have a look at that blurring, all it's done is just kind of put some fuzzy edges around the things. And I know that that's what a blur is, but you know, it doesn't quite translate when you try to paint it, which was a bit sad. Again, acrylic gouache, love the stuff, love it. Ignore that one. Now this one, oh, I love this one so much, but I ruined it and I'm so angry at myself. This was on the 9th, so the next day I think, acrylic gouache, black and white only. And the prompt word was still. And this is a photograph of my husband in Ullswater in the Lake District in the UK, and it was on our honeymoon. And I was running around left, right and centre, taking photographs of everything. And he sat peacefully and quietly and just waited patiently for me to finish what I was doing. I wanted to make his hair look more kind of dishevelled because my husband had really kind of messy hair and it was quite long on our honeymoon, and I wanted to make it look more, and I couldn't be bothered to get the gouache out. So I just did it in pencil, and now there's this horrible graphite shine on it. But also a really nice example of grayscale painting. On the 10th of January, the theme was wet. And I decided to draw or to paint my dad. And this is from a photograph I had of him in 2019 when he came to my place and helped us redecorate. I haven't quite captured his likeness. I know it's him, but I don't think anyone looking at it would realise it's him. But I love all the texture running through his coat, his overcoat, but it's covered. And I love the way that I got all these splashes and kind of marks all over it. It really does look like it should. One thing that doesn't look like it should, though, is the hands. Oh my God, don't look. They're so bad. I mean, look at the size difference I've got between the two hands. I might have to do the 100 hands challenge, you know. All right, number 11. The 11th of January, the prompt was wild. And this is a tuco, or a gecko. But in the Philippines, they're called tucos. And so I thought I would draw one, a happy little tuco. I absolutely love him. I didn't know what I was kind of painting. And I think this body is far too long. He kind of looks like a salami. Again, acrylic gouache, it's a tuco, it's wild. Last day in Cebu, 12th of January, I painted this. This prompt word was shiny. Now this is frangipani flowers, and the photograph was taken at the Marriott in Mactan as well. And I absolutely love that. You can kind of see me in the reflection here. So this glass changes from see-through glass, transparent glass, to reflective mirrored glass at the top. So there was a change in that surface there. And I think I really captured it well. I really, really like the directionality of the perspective. Love this glass, and I even love the sky. I really, really like it. Okay, so now, a few days later, I had to get over some jet lag, a severe jet lag coming this way. Number 16 was dark, and we're in the middle of winter in England, and we've come from that beautiful, bright, sunny beach location to this, and it's a dark. I do like it though. I got a great texture. I don't know if it's going to come out on screen, but the texture running through here, because I did it in a kind of like a crosshatch pan, it came out really nice. So I did all of the background first and obviously I taped it off and got that kind of vignette going, and then added just pure black straight over the top. I love it, and it really fit the prompt word. 18th of January, so I'm not being quite so consistent. So it's a couple of days later. I'm probably still suffering a bit with the jet lag. The prompt word was sweet, and it's acrylic gouache. Now, let me just say, okay, so there's a few things I love. So there's all these little kind of dots and dashes and stuff. I like the perspective, the directionality that I kind of maintain throughout. I really like that I added these tiny little daisies, and that the shadows are kind of coming in the right direction. So that's great. And there is a definite internal glow from this honey pot. What I don't like is the drawing itself. It was rushed. So you can see the whole thing is on the wonk. It should be a bit further kind of upright to make it look like a jar. This is my sister's hand around her mug of coffee. I just said, can you pose for me? I need something warm, and your hands around a mug would be nice. And so she very kindly just went there, and she had really long nails. Well, not really long, but, really nicely cut nails. I did the hands really well. And there's me saying, literally like 2 minutes ago saying, I can't draw hands, but I can. When I actually really try, I can draw them. I love it. Really, I think it's great. There's nothing more I can say. I like the shine. I love the pattern on the mug that actually was there. And yeah. The next one is Shadow. I drew this on the 20th of January, and I think you can clearly see why I chose this one. I have these dahlias, and they were beautiful, and they were so vivid and so bright. The leaves came out nice. That's a pretty good representation of the brightness of the leaves. I've used a pale blue rather than a stark white to create the highlights through it. But what I'm very, very pleased with is this shadow. I really like how it's breaking the border. It's kind of cool. Yeah, love it. Love it, love it. Okay, yes, this one's fun. So the prompt word was inside. I did rack my brains a little bit on what to draw for inside. I ended up going with one of these, I think they're called terrariums, tiny little garden inside this glass ball. What I'm very proud of is the way that it definitely looks like glass. Especially these edges here. I'm very happy with those. Nice grass through here. Very nice grass. Lots of texture going on. It's not bad at all. There's actually nice texture through this little log as well. January the 25th, I think it was the last of those. Yeah, it is. It's the last of that particular prompt list. And the word was grateful. And I think I was ready to depict my late husband. And I chose a picture of us just before we left the UK. There's a lot of things that don't work with this. His glasses are wonky and all that kind of thing, but it's him down to a T. He's got this dumb look on his face. His eyes are wide. The brown in his eyes are really kind of catching my attention. His hair looks just right. And I don't know, it just evokes lots of lovely, lovely memories for me. So yeah, that one was the end of the January prompt list. Now we're going to go back. We're going to go all the way back to February now. So I'll put the marker up the book on that one. This was the first one that I think I started. Yeah, it was. And the prompt list. Sorry, the prompt word. This is Little Amy Art's prompt list from February 24. Number 6 was Spirit. And I went really, really literal with this. And I think it's really funny. This is the movie Spirit. The Spirit, the Wonder Horse, I don't know. A few things to say about this. Firstly, oh my God, that background is to die for. I love this blend. Really happy with that. Really love the way that all of the colours have mixed on the page. No idea how I did it, but I think it's great. Really also like the grass. It's very Studio Ghibli, actually. Lovely, lovely texture through there. Not so fond of the legs. They look like they've been dipped in chocolate. It's so funny. I can't stop looking at them. I know why it is. They're like, I think they're chocolate coloured for a start, but also those highlights, they're just too bright. They're too vivid. They're too white, and it just looks like shiny chocolate dipped legs. So yeah, it slightly detracts from the beauty of the background, but never mind. Oh dear, it's quite funny. So that was the 12th. This was the 13th of February, and the prompt word was morning. There's too many people opposite my place for me to actually do that. I mean, this person is wearing kind of shorts and a t-shirt, but yeah, I like the bed head. There's nothing more to say about that, but it's quite funny. Pushing open curtains. Oh, this bit here was meant to be like those sheer curtains. I think it works quite well. I like it. 18th of February, so you see I'm not being quite so consistent. I am working in other sketchbooks and doing other things though. This prompt word was crunch, and again, acrylic gouache. I love this, it's so simple. I don't think that this little bunny would be able to put the whole kind of thick end of a carrot in its mouth, but maybe I'm wrong, I don't really know much about them, but very, very, very cute indeed. This powder blue, which I think I've mixed because I don't have a powder blue, is just lovely. And nothing more to say really about that one, but it is flipping cute. This one a bit less cute, but still quite nice. The word is comfort, and this was the very next day. Yes, this is the 19th. I really like the way that the cat came out, and I really like the pose as well. I mean, obviously I'm using a reference, but yeah, the cat came out great. But this hair, I don't know, I overworked it. I then decided to add a micron pen over the top and just muddied everything down. So it's not as great as I'd hoped. What I tried to do, I think, the mistake I made, was trying to kind of paint every hair. I should have remembered that hair is best painted in fat clumps, you know, and then you work through just the highlights through that. And also, doesn't that look comfortable? If you're not a cat person, you're going to say no. So next day, a much improved painting. This is Submerge. And I think at the start of this book, I could not have painted this because the blend that was needed to get from this sort of deep ultramarine colour all the way up. And the blend was just so nice. And then I was dry brushing these kind of sun rays coming through. And then I added in all of the little kind of the globular shape, and then came in with just white and went and put in like a million or so dots. And then some of them had darker lines and shadows through as well. So it was actually quite simple, but I don't think I could have done that when I first started the book. Moving on. This is the next day. Oh, I'm being quite consistent here. And the prompt word is minty. And I'm happy and not happy with this one. The arrangement is terrible. I really should have centered it. Happy, though, that it looks like chocolate. This really looks like chocolate to me. And I love the way that this aero wrapper came out. The silver inside in there, I think really looks like it should. The colours are all spot on. They're really minty. It's great. I got all this tiny little writing done. I think I must have used a little jelly roll to actually put that in, but really happy with that. What I'm not happy with is the perspective again. And for somebody who trained in you know, perspectives and grids and doing all that kind of thing, I really let myself down here because I should know better. But it's a 2-point perspective thing. This was going one way and that was going another. But you can see it's just far, far too small at the back end compared to the front end for the amount of distance it's travelled. But that aside, yeah, I love it. I think it's great. I do love a mint aero too, you know. It was certainly a good excuse to go buy myself a bar of chocolate. On the 28th, oh no, so we missed a week now. 28th of February, 2024, micron pens only. The word was snug and a lackluster page, let's be honest. It is just a freehand drawing with microns, straight in with the microns. Is that a paw over the cat's face? I don't know. And for me to ask that and I still don't remember, that's obviously saying that there's something a bit wrong. Yeah, no, it's all right. You can't, not every page is a winner, is it? Anyway, let's move on because that one upsets me. Oh, this one upsets me even more. Obviously having a very bad art day. And this is watercolour. What on earth am I doing with watercolour? I hear me ask. Well, I don't know. I think I just decided that I'd had enough of gouache and I wanted to try watercolour. So the prompt word is magic. And one thing that I thought was magic in 2023 was season 1 of Arcane. And I just wanted to paint Jinx and I can't remember the guy's name now, but yeah, episode 1 when they get taken off the bridge. It was a really powerful moment, but I just can't do it. I think I could do it now maybe I should do that. Maybe I should actually try to recreate this painting. Oh, I'm going to move on before I set myself up. Intentionally blank. The word was heel and I wasn't ready. So that one's going to stay forever blank because it's just not going to happen. On the 4th of March, the word was balance. Oh, this is a new set of prompts, March prompt list. Acrylic, well, gone back to acrylic gouache. Let's stick with what you know here. And I love this piece. I think it's great. It's a really good example of how I'm progressing with my gouache painting or my painting in general. Although, you know, let's not look at that one. I love the textures. I really like the shadows. This shadow through here is great. You can really tell the form of each of these little stones. This one under here, not so great. And the colour of the sand is not quite right either. But that aside, I really like it. I like the directionality, the perspective that I've got going on in the clouds. I'm using a reference here, so I'm really just copying. But the fact that I've got them to actually look like clouds is nice too. And the fact that we've got this gradient that comes down from that darker blue to the pale blue again. I really did good. I even like the sea, but I'm just so happy with all the little kind of dots and dabs and lines and all the intricacies of different colours that I've put through each of these pebbles. This one particularly, it's lovely. I really like it, if you couldn't tell. Just quickly then, that one's the one I forgot from January. It's texture. And I drew some very close-up knitting. And again, just microns again. And again with the microns, not that great. Okay, the prompt word was bud. I had fun, so much fun with this. Now it may even have been this one, and all I've done is just built up by kind of moving the shape of the square end of the paintbrush in little fan shapes and built up. So almost like that negative painting that I failed to do earlier on. I've got some lovely kind of shapes and texture and depth in that background. This is nice. It's just mostly plain white and some pale green, but the pop of pink is lovely too. I don't know what flower it is or what tree it is. Well, it definitely looks like a kind of fern, doesn't it? But it's lovely. On the 12th of March, so we got the 9th, we're going to the 12th of March, we've got lemon, and this is me trying to be a little bit more loose. And I've gone with a bigger brush, and that was quite eye-opening to me. And I really do like some of this textural detail that's coming through. It's quite painterly, and for me, you know, if you come from that or this, which is really quite realistic and sort of embedded in the realism, this was much more painterly and a bit more expressive, and definitely got me quite excited. I do love it, and lovely colours too, and really deep dark greens, and the use of that pale blue or that kind of iridium with white, I think, in there, just to use it as a highlight colour. Was a good choice. Okay, so now this is the 23rd of March, so I had a few days off. Prompt word was spice. There's a lot to like about this. There's a few things I don't like, but again, if we start with what I don't like, I'm not really fond of the background, but it's not important really. The skin, again, it's a little bit too blotchy, and I'd like to learn how to smooth that out a little bit, or intentionally make larger brush marks. And I may have to work a bit larger to do that. But that's the only two things that I actually don't really like on this. What I do really like, I really like the way the hair came out. I think I got that just right. There's only like 3 colours in it, in terms of there's black, there's grey, and there's a slightly darker grey. The way that the blue shine has come out around onto his face, I think is great, from his spiced up eyes. I think I got the likeness pretty good. It definitely looks like him. He's a really sharp, angular face. But this, can you see that texture? Or not the texture, but the folds in that material. I love it, absolutely love it. Drawing material, painting material, and getting all those folds to work and look real. I'm very proud of that. Love it. And then all of these tiny little details in through here. So I love detail, I can't help myself. I love the subtle differences in the colours, the depth is working for me, and overall I think this is a good example of how I'm progressing with my gouache. So this is March. Missed April completely in this book anyway. I don't know, I can't remember what I was doing back in April last year, but probably working in another book. We've got acrylic gouache. This is wisteria, a wisteria plant. And I just wanted something really bright, really, really bold. And I don't think it's a prompt. I think it's just a picture that I really wanted to draw, or to paint rather. So, and it's lovely. So did I quite get the complementaries right? No, but nevertheless, you know, it is what it is. It's a nice painting. Then not a prompt, it's just a painting that I wanted to do. This, I've now gone back to traditional gouache. So I remember distinctly thinking, having worked so often now in the acrylic gouache, has my traditional gouache improved? Yes, I think my traditional gouache had improved. I learned a lot from using the acrylic gouache, and coming back to the traditional gouache was a fun experience. I liked the fact that the traditional gouache will reactivate when you work on top of it, so you can actually get a little bit easier blending going on. So yeah, this is a peony. It's traditional gouache, and it was from a reference that I took. Okay, so we can come on to, oh, got a full size one here. Can't quite show you all of it, so let's just show you most of it. Turquoise water. I can't remember if I was following a prompt, but maybe I was. If it was the prompt is turquoise waters. I'm from there up, love it. I really like the very wispy clouds. That was done with really watered down white. Really wispy clouds, love that. Really like the perspective going through this fence area, and I really like the sea, particularly through here. You know, when it's really shallow, you get this different kind of blue to when it's really deep. So that kind of blue, that aqua kind of colour, looks great. I really like it. Could have done with a bit more kind of sea foam, I think. But yeah, really happy. Now, I don't particularly like the bottom half. And why is that? Well, this bit's okay, and the shadow is fine. The shadow's okay, it's just kind of too dark and a bit the wrong colour. It's too purple. But this is meant to be sand. Again, I can't, what is it with me and failing to get the colour of sand right? It's much more, it should be much more yellow than that. It's very weirdly grey and a bit kind of murky. But it's a lovely, you know, it's a big painting, and I remember it did take about 4 hours, but it was easier than doing a smaller painting, definitely. But the blend through here is lovely, really nice, really nice. But yeah, this bottom half, less nice. Okay, what do we got next? Oh, okay, so this is one I wanted something to do. This is a long break, so this is June and then to October. But this is a photograph that I took while I was on my holiday. And as you can see, it's sunset, not sunrise. Sunset, we're in the bar, we're having a nice drink, just enjoying watching the sun go down and the people walk along the seafront in front of us. Now, what I would wish I had done differently, paint these are slightly darker. They're kind of like a deep purple at the moment. And if I'd done them black, I think it would have worked a bit better. But what I do like is that there's some very tiny details in through here, which may or may not be coming out on screen, but I like them. I think they're great. We have got, so that's 6th of October. This is a double red that I adore. I just love it. I love it. So we'll talk about this one first and then this guy. So both of these are from the film A Tale of Terror. Snow White, A Tale of Terror. It stars Sigourney Weaver, and would you believe it, that is Sigourney Weaver. She's obviously got prosthetics on, but she's brilliant as the evil queen. And this is Monica Keenan, I think her name is. Yeah, Monica Keenan. And again, with the skin, it's not great. It's really not great. But I did at least remember to do the hair as a block and not worry too much about it. But the eyes in this, I am thrilled to bits with the eyes. I think they came out so beautifully, and it really looks like her too. It definitely looks like her. So yeah, so I wanted to get in those rosy cheeks, the red lips, not like the remake of Snow White, you know, the pale skin, which I didn't quite get. But overall, I'm still, you know, this is an 8 out of 10. This is an 8 out of 10 for me. I like it a lot, even though there's flaws running through it, but I don't care. This one, I don't know, it's like a 10 out of 10 almost. Without, I don't want to sound like I'm bragging or anything, but I love it. I love it. All right, no, it's a 9 out of 10. I absolutely love it. Thrilled to bits with this. The hair was like, not quite so great, but it was really kind of stringy, strawy, weird hair. But everything, I just love it. I think it's so cool. And I think I can still see Sigourney Weaver in it. And I think it's a great likeness for the image I was using to copy. Love it, love it, love it. My favourite spread, I think it's my favourite spread. This is now the 31st of December, so I've had a very busy few months. I remember being incredibly busy through November. I decided that I would draw some goldfish and put some gold leaf in, and you can kind of see it moving. This one's not got any on it, but this one is traditional gouache again, and I've gone very, very dark with the background, kept it really simple with a few kind of dark green leaves over the top. But these little dudes, they came out lovely, and I actually really like the gold leaf that I added. It's a very intriguing not process. I mean, it's not a difficult process, but I think getting it to look good is a difficult process, and I don't think I quite achieved it here, but it was my first ever go, and I've only used a tiny bit. But this one is traditional gouache again. I don't know the reason for painting this. I think I just saw fish and thought, oh, I'll draw some fish again. And oh, I know why it was. Yeah, I wanted to have a go at painting the reflections, the water reflections. This was like a part of a bigger picture, but yeah, it's good. I like it. February. This, I remember, it was still really cold. I was fed up of it raining, and I wanted some heat and something pretty. And I wanted to use the opera pink in my acrylic gouache set. So that's why that's there. That's why that exists. I don't love it, but I don't hate it either. I don't think the reference image was all that great. Now, I've already mentioned Snow White. It's one of my favourite old Disney films, and I love it. And this is the 9th of March, and this is when that new film came out. And I was so disappointed with Disney for doing that to its own legacy. And so I, in protest, painted a scene from the original movie. And it's lovely, but it is, obviously, it's a blatant copy. But I tell you what, though, I watered it down quite a lot. And I really like all these textures. I was trying very hard to get it to look like the painting from the still that I was using to copy. And I kind of achieved it. It had this kind of watercolour-y effect. It's lovely. These colours up here were incredibly tricky to mix. Now I am realising as I get on with my painting experience, journey, whatever, that my colour mixing is appalling, and I need to improve. Anyway, yeah, there we are. There she is, Snow White in all her 1937 glory from March 2025. Now, we come back to watercolour. How weird, but we do. We come back to watercolour, and this is May, and I was drawing some bubbles for some... They're not bubbles. What are they? Water drops. And I wanted to see if I could paint water drops any differently to the way that I was drawing them. And yes, I mean, obviously it's a little bit messy, and this because it's 100% cotton, the watercolour dries so fast and it kind of sinks into the page. It's a really thirsty page. So I was having a little bit of trouble getting it wet enough. What I forgot to do really was wet the page first. And that's something that I've remembered since painting this. And now something completely different. This also is a watercolour. Actually, it's a Gansai Tambi. It's some Kuretake paints. They're kind of a mix between watercolour and gouache, in case you don't know, but they're more watercolour-y than gouache. So I've used that to paint this, and it's like nothing else I've ever done. But I was also using the Creative Abstract Watercolour book by Kate Rebecca Leach. And it's got lots of little projects in that are very similar to this, where you just kind of abstract, add shapes together and get like blooms happening and stuff like that. And here's another one, which didn't work out quite as well. I'm still using the same Gansai watercolour palette, but it's not enough depth in this one, I don't think. It's okay, it's all right. I'm a bit messy. Some of my lines aren't straight, and I think I would prefer it to be a little bit straighter than it's coming out, I think. It's a bit too wonky. Back to acrylic gouache, and oh, I love this. I improved my face painting. It's nowhere near as blotchy. Really, really like it. Again, the eye came out fabulous. The hair's really nice too. Even the background, I think I very nearly and almost managed to make that look out of focus and in the distance. Really good. I love her fingers here. I just love this. Love this. Obviously, it's from Pulp Fiction movies. It's Uma Thurman, and the $5 shake scene. I love it. I think it's a really good painting. There was no reason for painting it. I just fancied painting a movie scene, and I like it. I love it. Another. This one may be my favourite spread. Oh, I don't know. In February this year, I found Spy Family. I'm going out of order because I've obviously kind of missed pages out. Spy Family. I fell in love. I got nothing to say. This is pure fan art with acrylic gouache. I just think it's wonderful. The painting's lovely, but it's just a wonderful, fun, enjoyable, wholesome, with a bit of murder involved. Wholesome, but kind of not. I can't wait for another season to show up. Let's move on. So we're nearly there, I promise you. This is another long one, but I can fit it all on screen. Look at that. I was waiting for somebody to join me, and I just took this photograph of the rose that was in the jar in front of me. There's some really nice little details in them, but what I am happy with was the kind of cloudy milkiness to this old glass. I'm very, very happy with that. I like that a lot. I also really like the use of the neons through here to depict the kind of the evening lighting. I like that a lot. Not that fond of what's out through the window. I think I should have made that much more blurry. However, it is what it is. And it didn't take too long, this one, but it's another kind of almost a double page. And I love this pop of hot pink. I mean, that's so thick, I can feel it. There's even a proper blue straight out of the tube there. Lovely, really nice, a really lovely use of colour, and that glass I like a lot, really like that. And then this is it, it's the final page, the final painting, and to mirror a sense of peace to draw. Where I started this book, I now have a sense of healing, because that has been the last 20 months. It is a healing experience following the loss of my husband. So butterflies, they are a symbol of transformation, aren't they? And of metamorphosis, of great change. Not that I'm saying I'm a butterfly or anything. I'm not. I'm definitely not. But it's just what has happened over the past 20 months during the life of this book has been so life-changing that I wanted to put something on the last page that kind of reflected that, I suppose. And there's a whole bunch of things in here that I'm very proud of. That aside, my husband loved the summer in England, and he would have loved to have just sat watching nature along the river and just enjoyed the peace and tranquility and the greenness of the English summer. I suppose in the end, this one was for him. Oh dear. So that's the end. It started on the 8th of August 2023. And it ended on the 8th of June 2025. So that is the end of my most favourite, most complete, most full sketchbook ever. daily doodles are continuing, and I'll be back with another sketchbook tour very soon. And maybe if I can get my backside into gear, I'll do some actual art videos too. But this has been a really long one. I think it's probably an hour. I've no idea. But thank you so much for joining me on this tour of my sketchbook, my most favourite sketchbook. It really has been a joy. Almost every page was an absolute joy. I'm looking at you. You're not that much of a joy, but you know, it definitely was a sense of peace inside my sketchbook. So have a happy day, whatever you're doing, and thank you so much for joining me. Bye bye for now.